So this is gonna be a great trick to show your Syrian friends once they're done doing whatever it is that Syrians do. But this is a great, fantastic trick for any sort of Arabic friends that you may have. No, notice what I did there. It's took it out of the trash. Continuity. The other videos in a dumpster. Just comedy. So for this trick, obviously you're gonna use a deck of cards that's preferably unlubricated. This deck is a little bit lubricated, but it's fine. You just tell your Syrian friend, you go, hey, Habib, could you do me a favor and put down the detonator and select a card here. So Habib picks a card. This is his arm after one of the parties they have. Parties. So Habib takes a look at his card, and it's the 10 of hearts here. So Habib shows his friends the card, assuming that they're not too busy having sex with animals, and they memorize the card. This card goes into the middle of the deck, and you tell Habib that you're gonna find this card in a magical way. So what's gonna happen is that you're actually gonna use the top card here as a some sort of magic wand to find their card. Now this is not the card that they picked. It's a 2 of hearts. So you say that right here, all you need to do is just use this card and wave your hand over the deck and see all the cards actually turn over in your hand, except for one. And you're not going to believe this, and Habib doesn't believe it either, but it's his card, the 10 of hearts. And at that point, he lights the it's a fantastic trick for everyone in the family. So this is a pretty simple trick. It's a good version of the original first trick that I ever learned. If I'm not lazy, I'll have it right here in one of those annoying cards that pop up too many times during videos. So this trick, of course, requires a little bit of a setup, but it's not hard to do, and it has that nice little color change that that little Arab boys love to look at. So for this one, the setup is you have 3 cards reversed on the bottom of the deck. This deck gets placed in the card box, and then that card box gets placed in the bag, and then that bag gets trash put in the bag. So then that way it actually looks like a genuine garbage bag. You can get some sort of gum wrappers if you guys can catch the focus there, and then this goes inside of your pocket or inside of your cart if you're homeless. And then you're ready to go. You're ready to go for this fantastic trick. So all you got to do is you take out the bag and you say, "Sir, let me show you a card trick." While you're too busy, not too busy, trying to end a race overseas. Let me just interrupt you for a minute and show you a clever card trick here. So you take out your cards. Of course, you're careful not to show your little setup on the bottom of the deck. Remember, those 3 cards are reversed. You don't want them to see that, because then that might tip off the trick. So let's get it right there. Right there should be in fantastic focus. So you have Hamid select a card here, and Hamid shows it to his many friends. And while he's doing this, you're doing really one of 2 moves in this trick. All you gotta do is either you could even do this while your back is turned. You could just say, "Oh, let me make this fair," and have you show all the cards, show the card to all your Arabic friends, and you just have to turn the deck over. That's all you have to do. So that way it puts you in a position where you could just put the card back, and the whole trick is pretty much all done except for the fancy color change, which I'll show you guys in a minute. If you don't want to set the deck up, this is a great time to do it. So you have them select the card. You have Ahmed select the card, and then while he's busy looking at the card, all you got to do is just have the top 3 cards, turn over the rest of the deck, put it on top, and you're ready to go. You don't even need a setup for this trick. So Ahmed is showing his card to everyone, and it's the King of Spades. Now what's going to happen is that you are going to put this card into the middle of the deck. Of course, they think it's going into a face down deck. Really what's happening is that it's going face down in a deck that's already face up. This gets squared up as fair can be, and then you tell them to pull up close. This color change that I'm about to show you guys is not really that angle sensitive. However, you don't want someone to be directly below you, assuming that you're doing this for Syrian midgets, of which is common because there's a lot of inbreeding that goes on in those parts of the world. So if you have that sort of angle, then I'll show you guys an alternative way of doing this trick that's really angle proof, but it's a good color change. So what's going to happen is that you're going to do a double lift on these 2 top cards. You're going to get a little pinky break there, and you're going to flip these 2 cards over, and you're gonna do a color change that I think is Justin Miller's. I'm not sure. If it's not, then I tried at least the crediting. Let me make sure right here. Let me right there. Is that sexual focus there? So what's gonna happen is that you're gonna in-jog these two cards towards yourself, and you're going to lift up the top card and have a little bit of a break between it and the card that's directly above it. So you have a break below the 10 of hearts in this case right here, and the 5 of hearts right there. And pretty much all you're doing is covering this exposed part with your hand, while this thumb does a sneaky move back here. This thumb is just going to push this card flush with the rest of the deck as this hand rubs the top little half of the deck. So if you do that in motion, what it looks like is a really nice little color change right there. And it looks like that card just turned over, or that card has turned into the 10 of diamonds. So one more time, you're lifting up here on the 5, getting a little bit of a pinky break. Your thumb is going to pull down on that card, and this is how it looks like exposed right here. Right there. That's that Michael Amar super slow motion from the 90s technique right there. That's a reference very few of you would understand. But it's a good color change nevertheless. Again, you're lifting up at the 5 and you're pressing on the 10 as you're rubbing that top of the deck, which gives the illusion of a color change. And that pretty much sets you up for the rest of the trick. Again, if you have the Syrian midget problem, then what you do is you're just going to do a standard paintbrush color change. So that is just simple. You're holding a double here, and as you squirt flush with the deck, you're just pulling back the top card, so that way it has a little bit of that paintbrush change. So you're pressing it and then pulling it back, and it looks like the top card changed into something else, or it turned face up. Now what's going to happen next is that you're going to push off a block, because if you push off one card, you're only going to show that card, and you don't want to do that. So that is not a good thing. You want to square as much, you want to square this little packet as much as possible and push off a block, so that when you square and spread the deck, you can actually show there's one card that's face down among the other ones, and it happens to be the King of Spades, which is a card that Hamid Mustafa has chosen. So that's a cool card trick. Let me just go over the hard part there one more time for the actual Arabic people that are watching this, that have a hard time understanding basic skills. So for this, one more time, remember, you're in this situation, you have 3 cards that are face down on top of the face of deck. You're going to do a double lift, pull this card back, and it's up to you if you want to do that little paintbrush change, or if you want to do the finger flicking fuckery. That's another playlist you should watch on my channel. But you're lifting up this card back here. The thumb goes behind all the way over here, and that presses flush with the deck at the same time that your little fingers here are doing this wiping motion. That gives the illusion that the card is changed. And then you're careful that you spread through and you push off a block, so that when you get to the card that they picked and turn it over, it's a miracle for everyone. Hopefully they create a religion based on you and they stop blowing each other up, because that's not a good thing. So there you go. That's a great trick. I'm gonna go give myself a hand job.